Here, I'll throw it up there. So when Jesus says turn the other cheek, it's actually there's actually 3 different things he says that are all within the same context. That's going to be what tells us what's really going on. The first one is basically, you know, when they hit you, turn the other cheek. That means allow them to hit the other side, because and not respond with hitting them back. Okay, the context would be right along with that. If somebody makes you walk a mile, you walk a second one. What's that all about? And then the other one is if they take your overcoat, give them your shirt too. All of that's coming from the crazy novel idea that was genuinely new and unheard of, which is loving your enemy. The people who are attacking, abusing you are actually people who are hurting themselves. Like they are hurting too, and they need love as well. And so loving your enemy, and so allowing them to hit you again because you don't want to see them hurt by hitting them back. The making them walk another mile. Hold on. Make him walk another mile. That's because legally, the Roman Empire, in those days, you're familiar with how Rome, massive military force, roads are famous for the roads. They go everywhere. There was a law that any soldier, if they're passing through your village, could order you, a citizen, to carry his pack for 1 mile. That was a law. So if basically you can free up, I think I'm dead right here. You can free up the burden of a soldier, because they've got a lot of marching to do. They're going to march 100, miles. I don't know what the actual number is. They're marching across this empire that's a couple thousand miles across, right? And so legally they could be forcing you to do that. Would you want to do that? No, you wouldn't want to do that. And so this is somebody who is oppressing you to begin with. They've conquered your people, whatever it is, and yet legally they can force you to do that under penalty of death or imprisonment. And so you have to walk with them carrying their stuff for a mile, and then you can walk home. And basically Jesus is saying, walk 2. Don't just walk 1, walk 2. You'll help them out. If they're taking your coat, maybe they are in need of a coat. Here, have my shirt too. Why? Because it gives you an opportunity to demonstrate a selfless love towards them. That's what it's coming from. Same idea with the turn the other cheek. Hope that answers it. It's no problem. I'm allowing that. So, Sapphire's response. A little while earlier, we were talking about what was the meaning of turn the other cheek, and so it does seem like there's a little confusion about it. So this is what Sapphire was told. I was told the following: if both cheeks were slapped in those times, it was a challenge to a duel, and therefore they are accepting you as a peer. For the shirt off your back, if they come for your last possessions, give them your shirt and you'll be nude. Supposedly that would make them responsible for your public nudity, and so a crime. And third, if you walk 2 miles instead of 1, then the soldier would be the one breaking the law, and that leaves me confused. Again, the context is what tells us the answer. And the context is very simple, because he is teaching them how to love your enemy. So the way that you're doing this is you're doing the opposite of what everyone else would do. I would get angry at the person who hits me. I would get angry at the person who steals my shirt. I get angry at the soldier who forces me to walk a mile. Instead, I'm going to show unconditional love towards them. Undeserved love, if you want to think of it that way. Undeserved love towards them by giving them these things. And so that's really what's going on there. Is it's a way to basically do the unexpected, and to give opportunity for them to see something different about you. That is not normal, right? Normally people would react in a different way. So no, it's not going to be a way to get them in trouble with the law. I'm volunteering to walk an extra mile. You forced me to walk the 1. It's okay. I'm walking an extra one. You stole my shirt. It's okay. I'm going to give you my jacket. I'm going to give you a shirt. Public nudity or whatever, you're still going to have like your undercloth. So it's the entire context is pretty clear that it's talking about loving your enemy. If you love your enemy, show him the hacker heart emote. Yeah, wasn't that an opposite? Yes, yes. So Hammurabi's law, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. That's Hammurabi's law. In fact, when Jesus says love your enemy, he basically quotes it. He says, "You have heard eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You've heard that. That's how you guys live by. Like that's the norm. What I tell you is to love your enemy." And so, yeah, that's the context. Is I want you to do the opposite thing. Instead of getting even, I want you to give them grace, give them something they don't deserve, selflessly, right? Because that's basically what Jesus does for us. So if he's done that for us, we have the capability to do it, even though it's not our human nature. It is our now new spiritual nature to be able to do that for others because he's been given that. Now, there's no doubt, there's no question at all that this is a difficult thing, right? Like that person hurt me. Why would I want to do something kind for them? Right? Like that's clearly not the human's response. Like that's clearly contrary to what we want to do. Every fiber in your being wants to lash back out. Get even. Obviously. He does say, like, vengeance is mine, like God will deal with justice in time. That's not up to us. And the perspective is that if justice had been done right when it was deserved, then I would have never received forgiveness because I deserve judgment right then too. Like I have deserved judgment all my life. I am a sinner. And so basically, even though yes, that person hurt me, the perspective is, but I also have hurt others, or I have hurt God, and I deserve judgment too. So because I've been forgiven of that, I'm able and capable of forgiving others. Which, at the time, wildly different perspective, and still a pretty wild idea. Dutchie, I'm not sure I understand. Maybe help me out. Clarify that. I think that is a healthy learning experience for people to get beat up if they deserve it. You're talking in response to, like, what I was just saying with somebody hurt me, so they deserve it, and they should you know, get beat up for that. Is that basically what we're saying? The main thing to keep in mind is we are not innocent ourselves. Right? Like we tend to think indignantly when somebody hurts us, right? Like I'm been wronged. And maybe in that specific situation I'm innocent of whatever crime. But that doesn't mean I'm innocent as a person. We are all guilty of things. We talked about this a little while ago as well. How all of us are the 10 Commandments. We couldn't maintain and keep the 10 Commandments. And so basically the idea is, well, God chose to not judge us what we deserved on the spot. Right? He gave us that mercy. And so therefore we have the capability of doing the same with others. He'll take care of it. He'll give them the learning experience. It's not up to me to give them the learning experience. I don't need to be the vigilante on God's behalf. You might be right, there's learning experience. It's not my duty to be the one to do it. If that makes sense. Because my motivations in doing it is not going to be a pure motivation from a justice motivation. My motivation is clearly going to be revenge. You know, we're going to absolutely have a tainted view of that. A skewed view of that. So I'm not going to be able to deal out justice justly